Blog Talk Radio.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with ZeldaSpeaks for your Monday morning mindfulness sessions on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
Grand Rising. Thank you for joining us on this great Monday morning. And if you are where the sun is shining, well, enjoy the sunshine. And if you are where it is pouring down raining, enjoy the rain. Today, we'll take a look at a cultural event that captured the world's attention over the weekend. The royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Yes. Meghan Markle, who is a former actress, is an American. And her background has been scrutinized in detail. And this wedding with Prince Harry has been the talk of not just the town, but the world. And so on the 19th of May, the two were wedded, and many eyes were glued to their TV screens or computer screens, and they watched the elaborate ceremony. Well, we want to take a look at this cultural event and how it affects Americans. Many watching the pageantry of this event were either feeling awed at the elaborateness of the ceremony or astounded at the obvious expense incurred to make this a spectacle to remember. Many Americans of African descent felt proud watching the ceremony because Meghan Markle, I don't know why I can't get her name right, Meghan Markle, is biracial, so-called. You know, she's got a white father and a black mother. And that seemed to mean something. Of course, many others were wondering why we allowed our collective consciousness to be distracted with this social event, which some could see as frivolity. But it made a statement about where we are as a collective society. Does Meghan Markle's so-called biracial background make a statement about changing attitudes on race? You know, there's a history about the royal families and the idea of bloodlines. There's a history even of those from the British royal families even marrying within the family so as to not to go outside of the so-called royal bloodlines. So you'd have cousins marrying each other. Well, now you're talking about somebody who's on the other side of the world, in a sense, coming from America and coming from mixed parentage and all of that. So, of course, you've got perhaps many little girls with that fairy tale fantasy of a prince and princess living happily ever after in a palace. And much of what the royal family represents is often overlooked, but we're talking about financial dynasty. And so who you marry has an impact on where that money spreads, which is why the identities of those who are in the family is of crucial importance. Where is the wealth of the royal family being spread to? And how will America be impacted by this involvement, this inclusion of an American in the royal family? What are the politics behind this decision? Or is it just love, falling in love and living happily ever after? Was the excessive attention just another diversion from other less happy world events happening right now? We've got war looming in other parts of the world. This was a powerful distraction, and it seemed to have been successful in capturing our attention for an entire day and maybe even weeks prior. How has this wedding affected our culture? Well, join us for another session of Higher Learning as our host, ZeldaSpeaks, join us at the 7:30 break to us relieve stress and elevate our consciousness with inspirational information. We'll be talking about the royal wedding and how it affects Americans. You know, there's an interesting thing about how people are expected to behave and the pressures that come from being a part of that historic family structure. And I'm sure we've got some listeners that are going to give us some of the dark side of the royal family and the various bloodlines that have controlled the British Empire for centuries, and what symbolizes in terms of its wealth and power, and the Queen and what the King and Queen have been connected to historically. So beyond the pageantry, there is a dark side, a very dark side. How do we address that? How do we address the history? And how many of us have learned British history perhaps in high school or maybe even college? You know, there's an evolution going on the earth right now. And for those who are aware, there's a shifting in the power structures controlled a great deal of the earth's land mass and even seas. The British Empire, at one point it was said the sun never sets on the British Empire. Well, after a series of revolutions across the world, that British Empire has shrunk a great deal. But the families, the wealthy families, still have their tentacles in many parts of the world. And the undercurrent of that is what is actually the unknown causes of wars, the fights for control of land and resources and territories that formerly under British rule, and now some of those same families are still connected to political control in many areas across Africa, and then there is Asia, and of course America. Is this wedding more than just the fairy tale love story? And what does it mean when you are in a family that has a history of such tremendous wealth and power? So much ceremony that's expected to be followed when you are long-time British tradition. So Meghan Markle comes bringing her Americanness, her biracialness, her new flair, and putting it into an old structure. And many people watching this ceremony wonder how all of this wealth being spent on a wedding impacting the British economy. So you have the extremes, just like in America, the extremes of wealth and the extremes of poverty. And when you are watching the majesty of the wealth, you don't see the ugliness of the poverty, the people living in the streets, the beggars. Because just like when there's a major event in America, the downside is hidden from view. You get rid of your homeless people. You get rid of your street beggars. You get them out of sight so the world does not see that and be reminded of the expense. So how do we view such an event? Well, we're going to take some calls and get your thoughts. Did you watch the royal wedding? How do you think it affects Americans? What do you think it makes as a social statement, having one from British so-called royalty marry an American actress from California. Well, let's go to one that has some historical insight and I'm sure a perspective that's going to rattle a few cages. Mama D, thank you for joining us today on the Female Solutions.
Well, hallelujah. Greetings, Global Transformers. I got up. I was up at 4 a.m. before the commercials started. And, I every time I see Meghan, she reminds me of Olivia Pope in Scandal, the mistress who didn't get to marry, the concubine that didn't get to marry the president. We call it mistress today, but they called it concubine way back in the day. You remember? Are you there?
Yes, that's
you
true.
remember when the slave owner had his separate family?
Yes,
he had the concubine family.
That crossed my mind for a moment.
and she, the wardrobe, the size, she's so she's about the same size as Olivia Pope in Scandal. The fashionable dressing. Every time I see her, I've never watched the movie or the TV program on cable, Suits, that that Meghan was one of the stars in. I've never seen it, but it was just that Olivia Pope type of attitude for me. But you mentioned something that I thought was very interesting. You were talking about the underlying causes of war, and you mentioned the downside. Well, I think one of the biggest underlying causes of war is maleism, rulership, and taking the female presence out of the Trinity. You got God the Father, and you got God the Son, but you have no God the Mother. And if you read it from the Word, there are two different creations in Genesis 1 and in Genesis 3. In Genesis 1, on the sixth day, it's written, and the script changes from God said and God did to all of a sudden, let us. So the usness family came on board, and he said, male and female created he them. He blessed them. Both of them got blessed. He gave them dominion over the earth. He told them to be fruitful and multiply. And there was an equality there. And when Yahshua, the Messiah, the Christ, the truth, who most call Jesus, when the question was asked about divorce and putting away your wife, he said, how was it in the beginning? Well, in the beginning, there was equality between male and female. That's why the female solution is still so very, very important, especially to the parents of civilization, that black woman and that black man, the one with the woolly hair, and the sheep and the goats and everybody else got that straight hair. Doesn't matter whether you're Asians or Arabs or you all got that straight hair. Only the sheep and the lamb, the blessed ones, got that woolly hair. Everybody else got that straight hair. Cursed ones has got the straight hair, and the blessed one has got the woolly hair. I'm just spiritually speaking here as it's written in the Word. When it comes to kids, he'll separate nations like a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And on the sheep side, he says, come, you blessed of my Father. And on the goat side, he says, you cursed. So I didn't make this stuff up.
Well, the interesting thing, Mama D, we look at the King James version of the Bible, and King James, again, that royal family, there was definitely a patriarchal very rigid way of thinking. So if you look at what we have allowed to become part of our belief system, it's coming out of a very distorted worldview from British thought, the royal family interpreting scripture. Well, obviously, I mean, it did tell us that there were political decisions made to the teachings passed down from the ancients and twist them to fit a model that would allow the things that happen in the name of God, such as the enslavement of people and the oppression of people and the conquering of people all across the globe. So we have to re-examine what we understand and believe about the documents known as the Bible, simply because the words themselves have been added and reinterpreted by under the authority of King James, who, of course, was head of a very bloody reign of terror, the British Empire. And so what does it say?
Right. And wasn't that the time when homosexuality was at an all-time high and was widely practiced, with the men wearing the wigs and the little tight-fitting leotard-looking pants and stuff, and all the paintings with the genitalia of men hanging out, the loose loins everywhere in the paintings. And but to me, it's when we fast forward it to the modern day, getting back to this wedding, I thought that Stand By Me was really outstanding, and the whole power of love. And our own Bishop Curry from Chicago, Illinois, when I found out that he was selected because of his stance in favor of immigrants, I guess non-citizen settlers who got enough political power to shut the government down. And here we are marching from 1954 to 1965 to get the right of being bombed, murdered, getting the right to vote in the land of our birth, which had been given to us 100 years earlier in the 15th Amendment. So, I mean, for him to be a champion of these illegal sanctuary settlers, who, as I said, got the power enough to shut the government down, and they can't even vote because they're not even citizens. And it stands for homosexual marriage. Now,
well, Mama D, you know, one of the things that we take a look at, we got a couple of the calls that I'll see if I can take before the break, but one of the things that we look at with the, I guess, merging or the inclusion of American culture into the British royal family, perhaps some of the things that we have seen will change or be transformed. You know, when people left England and came to America, they became a new people, just like when people left Africa and came to America, they became a new people. So there's something different in American-born people simply because this country was founded on a supposed principle of getting rid of all of those old concepts of royal blood and privilege, even though there was the fight to end the enslavement of African people. But, you know, when America first started, they still were bringing some of that old attitude of serfdom and everything, because they had indentured servants, people who they let out of prison to come here, and they had to work off their debt. But there is an evolution that comes out of America that perhaps can be transformative in the British family, and I think that there was I would hope, sincere wholesomeness in the wedding. I think marriage itself, it's more than just love. It's economics, because it's why you have money marrying money. I mean, you do not see people of great wealth, especially connected to a family like the British royal family, marrying someone who is not connected to wealth. And even though Meghan Markle is an actress, she's gained some wealth because, when you were a successful actress or actor, you are wealthy. So there are some economic considerations that come to that sort of a union simply because marriage is a business.
Exactly, and she's already, in conclusion, she's already brought in $1 billion because of preface sales. But what's interesting to me is how they didn't play up her biracial, but when it came to Barack, he was black, and the whole resurrection of yellow mellow, brown stick around, black get back. There's a lot of that going on with white men raising black men, like in This Is Us, like the little commercials with the little black girl. She's waiting for her white daddy to pick her up and take her to school. This Wrinkle in Time movie by Oprah Winfrey. So this whole, now they've got, in Meghan and Harry, they got a big cheering section for homosexual marriage and for the immigrant, the undocumented, the immigrant soccer. So that's the downside, in my opinion. But I love the wedding. She was beautiful. I loved her mother with the dreadlocks and the nose ring. And I got called out. So thanks.
Yes. Well, thanks so much
Take care. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, well, we always appreciate your thoughts. Yes, and that was Mama D. Of course, we are going to be transitioning to our after our 7:30 break, and we want you, if you're on our switchboard and have something to say, of course, just press 1, and we'll open your mic and get your thoughts. And if you're listening online, we want you to join our conversation. A couple of calls dropped. If you have any problems calling back in, just try again. 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. We're taking a look at the royal wedding, how it affects Americans. A lot of different images that you don't usually see connected to the British family. The mother, as Mama D said, the locks, the nose ring, and she was wearing her culture. She was herself, and this is a different kind of expression. You look at generations of Britons and the royal family and the marriages and scrutiny of bloodlines and all of that. So this is a different step that's been taken. What does it mean having an American enter the British royal family? And this is beyond the fairy tale of king and queen. This is a dynasty, and it represents political power, and it represents connection to ancient wealth and conquering of nations. And so who was allowed in the family, even on the fringes? It's about control of land and massive wealth, which, of course, you could see demonstrated in that wedding. But it did, in fact, spark the imagination of many Americans. And now, people having seen the wedding, how were we affected watching this event? Many people's eyes were glued to the tube the whole day and had an emotional impact on many people, and maybe even conjured up the old fairy tale of the prince and princess living happily ever after. Of course, Princess Diana had a quite challenging time, and ultimately the fairy tale crashed and burned. I mean, she literally, suppose tragically, after the divorce from Prince Charles, was pursuing another relationship that was highly controversial and was dogged by the paparazzi until the vehicle she was in crashed, and her life ended suddenly and tragically, and many people were affected. But there's a lot to be said about the royal marriages. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will hear from our Monday morning host, ZeldaSpeaks. So we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
Are you constantly arguing with your spouse? Are your children misbehaving and acting out? Is someone in your family abusing drugs? Have you been the victim of domestic violence? Are you grieving over the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore serenity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is the result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
You are tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in this city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage, or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
Hi, this is Viata, your holistic life coach. Every Friday morning, I'm on The Female Solution. I'm also blogging live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soul Purpose Healing, where I help you get back into alignment with the Creator's love, compassion, and wisdom. On Sunday, you can call in at 215-383-5863 or go to www.blogtalkradio.com/soulpurposehealing. When I'm not doing spiritual adjustments on Blog Talk Radio, I'm helping clients reduce the stress in their lives with EFT, essential oils, and cost-saving health plans like Ameriplan. Ameriplan is a better way to save money on your health care expenses. There is more information on how to contact me at www.yourholisticlifecoach.com. Till then, stay in joy.
And shalom. Thank you so much for joining us this morning
on The Female Solution. Hi, you're learning with ZeldaSpeaks. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. So start your week off with mindfulness stress relief sessions. And if you tuned in earlier, you already know that the topic for today is the royal wedding, reality or fantasy. And I am loving this powerful distraction because that's exactly what it is. I'm loving the conversation. But just to interject just a little bit before we do our morning meditation, I just have to comment on the caller, Mama Z. You hit the nail on the head. It's all part of the programming. It's all a distraction to keep us our attention not on that which truly matters, but to keep us in a struggle with our collective consciousness. My 20-plus years of programming in radio and television has allowed me to see behind the scenes how these decisions are made for the general public and how they really keep us in the dark. So you'll get a chance to hear a little bit this morning about some of the insights that I've experienced from a broadcaster's perspective and things that might make you go, in the words of Arsenio Hall, Anyway, if you're listening this morning online, feel free to join the conversation. Call in at 515-605-9335 if you're on the phone. But if you're online, send your comments, thoughts, suggestions to my Facebook page, ZeldaSpeaks, also on Twitter and Instagram. And today you can win trivia prizes of the Mindfulness Stress Relief 21-Day Home Practice Journal or the Innovative Mindfulness Audio Program. And do keep in mind, if you're looking for a way to improve the quality of your health, it's not only for diabetics, but for general health in specifically diabetics, but also for the general population, because statistics show where it used to be 1 in 100, 1 in 50, now it's 1 in 4. So that says that someone in your family is pre-diabetic or diabetic and they don't even know it. So do yourself a favor and spread the good word. Go to diabeticdonut.com if you're looking how to reverse diabetes as well as if you'd like to make money, earn some extra income, residual income. You've heard the term make money while you sleep. Well, there's a chance to do just that. And we're always looking for people to shop who would like to make money using other people's money instead of their own. You can make money on Amazon. Simply go to ZeldaSpeaks.com and learn how we helped the Higher Learning Network, which is not only for nonprofits but for for-profits as well. Just go to ZeldaSpeaks.com and click on training. And remember to set those DVRs for the HLN Higher Learning Network TV show Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19, and 24/7 on the World Wide Web, higherlearningnetwork.org. And as we always start the day off with mindfulness meditation, but before we do that, we will begin with a reading from the Word. And it is taken from Inspirational Conversations, Volume 2, with Shalomith Yisrael, a.k.a. Zelda Speaks. And it's taken from May 21st. And it says, why is it that we believe everything we see on television? Don't we know by now that TV is only a medium to control our minds? Only a handful of men control what we see on TV. They are committed to us destroying each other and the collective consciousness. They instruct the editors on down to the anchors and reporters on who to report on and what to write. In tragic situations in urban communities, haven't you noticed they always find the worst of the worst to be interviewed? Well, that's what you do when your aim is to control and destroy. So in the morning when you wake up and you're tired of seeing all the death and destruction going on around you, you have the power not to participate, not to watch it. It's simply, yes, we do need to be aware of our surroundings, but chances are someone will tell you what you need to know during the course of the day. Trust. Then turn the channel to hear something positive to start and end your day. And I strongly suggest the Female Solution, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m., and Saturdays and Sundays as well. I was listening to the conversation yesterday, Sunday afternoon, talking about the state senator. I had press 1 to add my voice, but I pulled up to my destination, so I had to get out of the car. But I really enjoyed that conversation. So thank you, Naima Latif, and the other sisters, Wanda Carter and Be Love, who are also on the call as well. But I want to get your opinion this morning, and we'll do that very shortly. I'll keep my morning meditation short and sweet for you this morning so that we can get to the topic of the royal wedding. I am so tempted not to do the meditation, but you know me better than that. So get ready, get set, here it comes. Sit straight up in your chair. If you're lying in the bed, that's okay too. Just try to remain awoke. Sit up straight in your chair, feet flat on the floor, your back erect, nothing in your lap. As you close your eyes, the only thing that you should see is the inside of your eyelids. And a very special thank you to you for joining me this morning for putting nothing in your hands. That means your hands too. Nothing in your lap. Just closing your eyes. Special thanks for you for doing that. And a special thanks for my Markham family for joining me, my Markham Skate family for joining me this morning, because when I got there yesterday, that was the topic of discussion. And I'm thinking to myself, why does it matter? I digress. Let me go back to meditation. We'll talk about that shortly. Special hello to Sam I Am for his words of encouragement. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed the program. Now, as we close our eyes and begin the process of taking a long, deep inhale, what we're going to do, we're going to inhale to the count of 6, hold the breath, and then release the breath to the count of 6 as well. So as you're breathing, I want you to feel the chest inflate. Hold it and release to the count of 6. So let's practice that together to the count of 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale deeply, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale deeply through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now continue counting to yourself as you inhale through the nose. You should feel your chest inflate every time you take a breath. If you don't feel your chest moving, that means you're not breathing deep enough. And if you're not breathing deep enough, chances are your lungs, your liver, your heart, your spleen, your colon, your pancreas, chances are those organs are not being re-energized. They're not feeling what they should and could feel if you were breathing just a little bit deeper. Because every time you breathe, the breath sends a signal to each of these organs, reminding it to do the work that it is supposed to do. Because if the organs cannot function properly, then it becomes a problem. heart disease, liver disease, gallbladder disease, diabetes, stress, cancer, hemorrhoids. Inhale deeply to the count of 6. Hold it. And exhale. I can see that you're beginning to breathe more deeply. As I feel your energy, it is vibrating from the top of your head as you inhale and hold it. And as you exhale and release all negativity, all thoughts of lack and limitation. And as you breathe in, knowing that you are at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. And as you are experiencing this day, give thanks, even if you are congested, even if there's a little cold in your throat, even if there's a little sinus infection going on, because you are now reminding the trillions of cells in your body that your mind is in control of your body. The mind and the breath together are sending vibrations to each and every organ, muscle, fiber, and tendon in your body, that whatever's going on, it came to teach us a lesson. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. Sometimes those lessons are lessons we'd rather not learn because we're too busy. Our focus is on things that are not as important as the breath. Inhale deeply and be reminded that the breath is the channel, it is the vehicle through which all of your good, of your existence, is allowed to be displayed on the planet through this vehicle we call a body. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And release 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you give thanks for that breath, knowing that someone somewhere is not as lucky as you to be able to breathe through the nostrils and give instructions to the lungs and to the other organs in the body. Because somewhere, someone, somewhere is lying flat on their back with an apparatus in their throat and a breathing tube in their nose because their body is unable to breathe deeply on its own. And that alone is enough to give thanks. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. You are training your body to remind the inner organs and the energy that is around you to bless itself as often as you possibly can. Because when you take a deep breath, you remind yourself that you are worthy of the breath that you breathe. Because the fact that you woke up this morning, you have work to do. And be not afraid. You don't have to know how it's going to be done. You simply trust the breath. Trust deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale, trusting that your inner guide, your God, whatever name you choose to call it, God, Spirit, Jesus, Allah, Jehovah, Yud, Hey, Wav, Hey, Yahweh, the universe, the Creator, whatever you so choose to God, call it, it is listening. The omnipotent presence within you. Inhale deeply and exhale as you lower your head to your chest. Bring your head back up and inhale deeply. And as you exhale, lower your head, chin to chest. And as you inhale, bring the head back up. Inhale deeply. And exhale. And now as you begin to inhale and exhale, repeat these words out loud if you can. If not, to yourself. Inhale deeply. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. Exhale. Inhale deeply. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. Exhale. Inhale deeply. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete, just as I am. It is not necessary for me to do anything. I am a child of God. I am a child of the Creator that created this universe and knows all my needs and desires. Inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale deeply. Hold it and exhale. Now this time as you inhale, I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. And as you exhale, I release, let go, and let God. Inhale deeply. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. Hold it and release. I let go and let God. Inhale deeply, knowing that all that God has in store for you this day awaits your decision to receive it. As you exhale, I release, let go, and let God. Inhale deeply. I give thanks for the abundance of energy my body possesses. I release, let go, and let God. Inhale deeply. I give thanks for the abundance of wealth. Hold it. I release. I give thanks that my wealth is not in numbers, but in my health, in my consciousness, in my community. I release, let go, and let God. As you inhale for the last time for this session, inhale deeply to the count of 6. Hold it, and as you exhale, release, let go, and let God. Chin to chest, and slowly move your head. Rotate your head to the left, and slowly bring it around to the back. Slow down. You're moving way too fast. The neck should be just getting to the back as you are moving in very slow increments. and around to the right. And slowly bringing your head around to your chest. Head up. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, chin to chest, slowly bringing the head around to the right. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Just about making it to the back. Slow down. You're moving just a little bit too fast. You should just be getting to the back. And slowly bringing it around to the left. Slowly. Still breathing. Slowly. Slowly. Slowly bringing it around to the front. Not quite there yet. Slowly. Slowly. And finally bringing it around. Chin to chest. Head straight up. Turning your head to the left. Slowly bringing it back to center. Turning your head to the right. And back to center. And take another long, deep breath. Inhale deeply to the count of 6. Hold it. And let go. Let God. Inhale deeply. I am happy, healthy, whole, and complete. And release. I release, let go, let God. Let's say that one more time together. Inhale deeply. I am happy, healthy, whole, and complete, just like I am. And as you exhale, I release, let go, and let God. I let the Creator, the universe, be in charge of my life. Because the current issues that I have, I realize that I am not in control. Situations, circumstances, and people show up in my life every single day to teach me to be the best that I can be, especially when I don't want the experience. Inhale deeply. And I give thanks for these people, places, and things and situations that show up to enlighten me, even though I don't want to learn. I give thanks. I give thanks that today is a character-building day because it will make me better than I was the day before. Each day that I grow in my consciousness, I give thanks because I know that there's someone somewhere going through the same thing, and I am never alone. And I give thanks that I am always abundantly guided and directed because I know I am that I am is always in control. And keep in mind that the 2 most powerful words that you will ever encounter are taken from the Bible. Ancient scripture, it says that I am that I am. So you choose what words you will choose today to follow up to those words, I am. But in the meantime, I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete. I don't need anyone or anything to complete me because I have been given this body as a vessel to do the work that I have been intended to do. And that work can come in the form of a job, of school, in teaching and learning and encompassing all the good that awaits you this day. So in your time, sometime during the day, if you're stressed, you're having a challenging day or character-building day, try this breathing exercise. It doesn't have to be that long. You simply take 10 breaths, 10 long, deep breaths. And if you're in the midst of madness, just start breathing and be aware that people will start looking at you and calling you names. They may say she's having a nervous breakdown or he's losing his mind or they might be a little cuckoo, but that's okay too. Just keep breathing. And if you have garlic or onion around you in your midst, or especially if it's on your breath, trust me, they will move back. They will leave you alone. So thank you for joining me in that Monday morning mindfulness session. And please share it with someone. And be sure and go to my YouTube channel, ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness, and share that with someone as well. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, if you've been thinking about your future and what you're going to do with it, and you still want to get a degree, and you don't have money for tuition, then you're at the right place. I have a very special guest today. We're going to talk just for a few brief minutes and talk about that, and then we're going to get into the meat of the subject of the royal wedding and how we're being deceived. So you stay close for more of Monday morning mindfulness right here on The Female Solution on Blog Talk Radio. And we will be right back. And you can call in at 515-605-9325. Remember to press 1 to speak. And we'll take your call. And thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
Do you need to borrow money to buy or fix a house? Call Spartan Holdings, LLC, Real Estate Investment and Consulting. We'll help you build your individual and corporate credit so you can get the money you need to pay for whatever you want, from home improvement to business equipment. I'm John Worthy, CEO of Spartan Holdings, LLC, a veteran-owned business. Call us at 773-869-5805. Again, that's 773-869-5805, or you can reach me via email at SpartanHoldingsLLC, the number 64 at gmail.com. Thanks.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. In other cities, check your local cable listings.
Do you need remodeling and repairs in your home or office? Call J&J Construction, your complete house doctors. We have a full-fledged crew to do your painting, drywall, electrical, plumbing, heating, and roofing, and tile work. We do new construction as well as rehab work. We're licensed general contractors, You can call us at 312-8195. My name is Lernie Jones. Visit our website at jandjconstructionremodeling.com. Once again, visit our website at jandjconstructionremodeling.com.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We are now a part of the online network of associated internet radio hosts, On Air. On Air is a fantastic global guide to uplifting and enlightening online shows spanning all 7 continents. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. You can participate in a conversation anywhere in the world with just a tap on your cell phone. Just go to onaireverywhere.com and tap the lines in the upper right-hand corner to get the days of the week. Tap the day of the week, then scroll down to your favorite host and tap the link to hear the show online. Or tap the phone number to call in and participate in the discussion. It's that simple. Go to onaireverywhere.com on your cell phone and hear the good news about our changing world from the global transformers. We're on air everywhere, online all the time.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Kareem Hamid.
And I'm Sister Manira Habil. Join us every Wednesday from 6 to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on the Female Solution Radio Show as we, along with our host, Naima Latif and the American Muslim 360 family, discuss ways to improve our relationships with our spouses, our children, and our loved ones in order to build a stronger community.
Call in and comment at 515-605-9891 and press 1 when you're ready to speak. We want to hear your thoughts.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, this is Maika, and I want you to join me every Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And let's talk about it. There are so many interesting things to talk about, and we have many thought-provoking discussions. We have amazing guests on the show, and you'll find real transparency, a really peaceful environment, also a healing environment as we do EFT and other healing modalities to bring ourselves into congruence and balance. It's also a child-friendly environment. And we have an open mic. All you have to do is press 1 to be heard and to say what you have to say. No fear, no fake, real truth. That's what you'll find on my show. Visit our archives at the Female Solution on Blog Talk Radio and listen to past discussions that are intriguing. Call 505-615-9325. Invite a friend and listen in, and I'll see you then on Blog Talk Radio. Let's talk about it with Maika every Thursday.
Reality, or is it a fairy tale? A very powerful distraction. As I said earlier, much of what we do here on the Female Solution is enlightening consciousness. In order to enlighten your consciousness, we must be aware of the way we are being controlled with our thinking. And my 20-plus years in broadcasting has allowed me some insights from the broadcasting perspective to see how we are being controlled, how the mind is being controlled. Because as you can see from any urban radio station, the top 10 records are played over and over and over again till it makes you sick. And there is one Chicago artist, and you probably know because he's always in the news about some sex incident, keeping girls undercover. I don't even want to mention his name. It's irrelevant. But the point is, when he was hot in Chicago, when I was at WGCI, the program director there, there's a way the thing goes. I'm not calling any names. I'm just saying that you usually only hear a record maybe once an hour. You would hear this guy's songs 3 times an hour. And I was like, And listen to the messages. And I couldn't say anything, of course, because I'm working there. You don't go against the programming department. You just play your role so you can get your check. But that does not stop you from being observant to seeing how things are run. And nothing has changed, but let me back up a minute. Some things have changed because now there are more opportunities like this station, the Blog Talk Radio, where people are just tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. So they have a choice to go other places to hear other things. There's Sirius Radio, there's FM, XM, and there's the Female Solution. There's all kinds of opportunities that are available where you can voice your opinion and not hear the same music over and over again. But I said that to say all of this. We have been painted a picture, and that picture is not always the best picture for us to be a part of. A good example is in R&B. All the love songs, they are leading us into a place that we don't want to be and keeping us there longer than we want to be there. And that place is in the land of love. And that land of love has very little to do with self-love. It's like give another person, whether it's male or female, give them all of your love and they will give you what they need, what you need, which is so untrue. Most of us, myself included, and I'll share the little story with you very quickly, have not learned to love ourselves because we are judging ourselves according to what the media shows us. I changed my major in college from television to radio because I didn't fit the stereotype of a small, petite, blonde, blue-eyed sister with long, flowing hair. I was a short, big pug nose, big hip, big eyes, big everything, and with nappy hair. And I can honestly say I did not like myself because I was still learning who I was. And the tables have turned now because I'm still a big-boned girl, got big meat on me, and loving every inch of it. And diabetes had to teach me that. But however I learned. And I said that to say this. Media is used to program us. And because I couldn't see myself in television, I had to find another outlet. And because I have the gift of gab, I found radio. But when I found radio, I also discovered how the programming is meant to keep us in a state of despair. The only thing that I loved about radio was while I was at Gospel Radio 1390, the music was inspirational. The only thing that I didn't like is that it kept us thinking that God, how can I say this without being offending anyone, that God is a pie in the sky. God is out there. God is my man. Now, I know that's going to open up some doors, and I'm open for discussion. But the discussion today is reality real? Is the programming that we've been given, is that real? And how do you know that? Because it is my understanding as a kid that the programming that I got was fantasy. because as a kid growing up in Stateway Gardens, I went to a Catholic school, St. James, which was about 6 or 7 blocks from Stateway Gardens. I was at 37th and Federal. The school was at 29th and State, and every day I'm walking to school, and I'm thinking, Lord, why are we having this challenge? Why do I not get the same privileges as the kids got, as the white children got? Why are we living in the projects? Why can't I have blue eyes and long blonde hair? This is the thought that I was thinking. And as I grew older, I could see myself evolving into the fantasy that television was teaching me, is that I needed to lose weight, I needed to dye my hair blonde, and I needed to get some blue contact lenses. And I did all of that. And, of course, I got some attention. But I still wasn't happy with me. So I posed the question today, how has media, how's this programming changed your reality? How has it made you a different person? How has it made you look at yourself and be someone that you're really not? I was one of those people. I was waiting on Prince Charming to come to my rescue. Prince Charming never came, so I had to rescue myself. And I know you've got some stories, and I'd love to hear them. Let's open up the line. Lois, we've got Lois on 4498, and then Empress Sharon on 9061. Thank you for joining us on The Female Solution. On Blog Talk Radio this morning, please press 1 to speak. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all this morning. This is just such a wonderful, wonderful rainy day, and just to be alive in it here in Chicago and on the Female Solution. However, I was just thinking about the lady who was in the green at the wedding. I didn't know that was the bride's mother. It was a colored lady, African-American, who sat there. And when I learned that was the bride's mother, this wedding, I'm sure it's going to go down in history forever. We have an opportunity or a chance now of having an African-American prince. I mean, can you imagine? And then the top of it all was the pastor, the bishop who spoke. Cooney, I understand he's here in Chicago. I definitely want to visit his church. But he told the whole story. It's the power of love. The power of love and God's love. So that's what we're all dealing with today. I enjoyed it. It was a message for the whole world. Black, white, green, blue, all denominations. And it was for all of us. Now, if we didn't get it, I feel that minister's part should be played over and over and over again until we finally get it. It's the power of love. Thank you all so much, and God bless you, and I love you.
God bless you, my sister. Thank you so much for calling and sharing that information. Today, I still have not seen the wedding. I guess I'll see it today because I know that I will see what I need to see when I need to see it because everybody told me about it over the weekend, so I'll get a chance to see it. Let's go to the phone line. Empress Sharon at 9061. Grand rising to you, Empress, and thank you for calling. And thank you, Miss Lois, for sharing the love. Yes.
Can you hear me? Hi. Okay, good morning. I was calling in. First of all, Minister Plump referred me. And yes, and I would like to add what I think about the wedding. Now with Meghan, Markle, and with President Barack Obama, they're both a shadow of things to come. Back in the ancient times, all the way up to the 1600s, before we fell into slavery, the black kingdoms were ours. We had power and control. The only people that ever put us in bondage was Shem and Ham. Yafet never had us in bondage up until the time they came into our land in 70 AD, and that was in Rome, who came into Canaan, where we live, which the world knows as Israel. All of this is happening because we were under a 400-year curse. That curse started in 1619 and will end in 2019. So yes, you do see black people arising. You see them being lifted up to positions of authority now. That's because we're going back to that time when the new millennium reign starts. And regardless if you are if you're into God, if you're into the Bible or not, it don't matter. The Bible is fulfilling itself. And I believe that the wedding was just it just signifies what's to come, what is coming. We're right on the heels of what is coming. I wrote a book called Trees of Righteousness, and it is our blueprint. It is our body of evidence that tells the world that we are the descendants of the children of Israel. And our punishment, Donald Trump signed into legislation a bill called H.R. 1242, which signifies Black Americans being here in this land for 400 years. Well, that's the Bible. That's Genesis 15, 13 through 14, and Acts 7 and 6 through 7, and which states that we will be strangers in the land for 400 years, being abused, enslaved, and Daddy God said he would visit those who put us in bondage, before he brings us out. Now, you tell me if he ain't visiting America and this world with all, the global warming weather that they call global warming. That's our daddy, and he's coming back for his children, because it's time for all of this to be over, and it's time for us to be elevated again. And I believe that's why you see these things happening.
Thank you so much for sharing that this morning, Empress Sharon. We greatly appreciate that. And Minister Plump, who recommended you. We've got Minister Plump on the line, 2773. Okay. And Minister Cynthia Williams will be next at 4743. Grand Rising, Minister Plump, thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, and Yah Shalom, Grand Rising to you, Sister ZeldaSpeaks. How you feel, beloved?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the referral. We have another listener on the line this morning. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Well, the female solution deserve it. I'm in love with me some you and Dr. Naima Latif, and all the way from Monday to Sunday, Dr. Wanda Carter. All of you all are my sisters and 23s, different but like Oprah Winfrey, but yet the queens of the planet Earth and the goddess of the whole universe. So I'm very thankful. It's an honor and a privilege to be added to the history of today. And the most important part that I think that Sister Empress reflected on is that it's our time now. That's just another spin on it. It's our time now. And in her way of life is Wake Up Jacob, which is universal. When we say it's our time now, we are on the fact that Jesus Christ is a black man, and the lost 12 tribes of Israel, that's us. And we started out with the tribe of Judah, which is known as the so-called American Negro. And all praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He wrote the book, Message to the Black Man, and we just doing the best we can. And it's time for the cream to come to the top, because there's no spot that God is not. So I'm not going to, I know other people want to speak. I'm not going to hold you. I'm happy. I'm happy because there's there's love in me, and God has blessed me to share love, and that is the power of love, and love equals to 21, and we are the fruit of the Spirit. That was a reflection of the marriage, and that the prince Herod, he had to marry a black woman because it shows the spiritual relationship between God and the other people in other races. It shows that because by nature, by birth, we are the children of Israel. So God is real. The power of Jesus Christ is the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and so he had to marry. See, she's not just a princess. She's really the spiritual queen for his identity, and for his lineage, which would be his children. See, the Black Madonna in the secret orders ways of life has always been there. In other words, Sister Empress can chime in on that, where the Black Kings was the original. So we are the indigenous original people, and it is a way of life that, I'm part of the native reality in this life, and I love your topic, too, reality. That goes out for everybody, especially for Kufi. So you'll know that I'm part Cherokee, Kufi. I'm part Apache. And I got the fire of Jeremiah in me, and we love all of the brothers and sisters in peace, love, and unity.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Minister Plump. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate that. Let's go to Minister Cynthia at 47. God bless you, too. We love you, too. 4743. And did we just take? No, we didn't take Cynthia. 4743. Minister Cynthia, or did we? Let's bring up Beata.
Well, this is Minister.
Is this Minister Cynthia?
Yeah. Okay, right. Let me say this, Minister Plump, and all of you that I love and appreciate over the years, the spiritual connection we all have. But one thing let me say about you, sister. I'm still flowing in your meditation this morning.
Oh,
it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It is so relaxing. It opens me up for the beauty of my vibration as I move through my spiritual journey. I wanted to compliment you on that, which has been given to you to share. It's fabulous. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
The other thing,
thank you.
But like I say, with Meghan, Plum, and all of you, I'm grateful. I'm humble. Of myself, I can do nothing. It is the spirit that continues to continue me on. I love Mama Izzy with the Ascended Masters, and I say, well, I've got to call them that too because I know of them. But all of us, we are here to share, elevate each other and others along the way. And I just want to let you know I felt you. I feel you spiritually, my sister.
Thank you, sis. Thank you for the Spirit of God that is within me that reaches us all, because it was never my intention to do that. It just came through me, and I simply followed the instructions, because this is not something I planned. It just happened that way. And that's the wonderful thing of being on the Female Solution, is that whatever happens, it happens in the moment. So thank you so much for calling, Minister Cynthia Williams. We greatly appreciate that. Let's go to our next caller, my sister, Viata, on 1218 Grand Rising, my sister. Thank you for joining us for Monday Morning Mindfulness.
Grand Rising, and I'm with Sister Cynthia. That meditation was just so perfect this morning. Thank you, Sister. And I'm always excited to hear about your journey in Chicago. You know, while you were attending St. James Catholic Church, I was attending St. James Methodist Catholic.
Wow.
I was attending St. James Methodist Church on 48th, and I think it was Ellis. But that as a child, so it's funny how our journey has been so similar.
I know.
But so I so appreciate the way the Most High is bringing us all together again. It's like we're meeting again. But as far as the wedding, that wedding triggered so many emotions that I did a show last night on Soul Purpose Healing about managing our triggers, because there were so many emotions that were stirred up because of that wedding. And in reference to your topic, it's like we grew up with Walt Disney and Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and all those fairy tales, but the universe to me has a way of helping us see the spiritual meaning of these things. So it was just interesting how this marriage triggered in a few dark-skinned women some resentment, because I had a friend on Facebook mention that if this woman had been darker, this wedding would never have taken place. I was like so surprised to see that from her, because she's supposed to be a teacher and a healer, and I was like, what does it matter? And she was like, it matters because racism exists in our society, blah, blah, blah. And I said, but the Creator created melanin, and people who have a problem with that, they have a disease. And so the last statement she made was that I'm still amazed at how people prefer light skins over dark skins. And I just like, okay, so the whole purpose of one of the reasons this wedding had to take place was to trigger these types of emotions in people that need healing. Because that, to me, was a big aha moment that, wow, you didn't see the beautiful hats that these women were wearing and the beautiful dresses and the beautiful flowers, and you didn't hear the love message from the bishop. What happened? What happened? So that's why if you missed the show last night, you need to go back and hear how we can manage these types of triggers that come up. And who would think that a beautiful wedding like that would trigger that type of an emotion in one of our sisters, who obviously still has some low self-esteem issues, that would even come up means that it needs to be healed. So I really I saw bits and pieces of that wedding. I just went on YouTube later that day and watched what I wanted to watch, and I saw Oprah in her beautiful hat and all these beautiful hats and clothes. And I saw the beauty of it. I heard the love message. And I take away from that we are royalty. The Creator spent 9 months putting us together in the womb. We have this royal body made by divine hands, and that's our royal state. And the kingdom is within us, and the king is the mind. And so if we just can connect to the spiritual meaning of that ceremony, then we can all grow from this experience. So thank you so much for bringing up this topic, because it's like, it's kind of like that Kanye West incident. We had to talk about that and break it down, and now the royal wedding, let's break it all down and come out the queens and kings that we are. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And wait, before you go, Viata, how can we hear that show on the triggers?
blogtalkradio.com/Soul Purpose Healing, and it'll be the first show that'll come up.
Okay, Soul Purpose Healing. I have to remember Sunday evening while I wasn't available, but good thing we can hear it in the archives, and that's the wonderful thing about being on Blog Talk is that you can hear something every single day of the week. Food for the soul, and your show comes on
Sunday nights at 8.
Sunday nights at 8. That's Soul Purpose Healing, but you're also on Friday morning, which is my day to stay in bed so I can get every bit of information I possibly can.
Thank us. Health and Wellness with Viata on Friday at 8. Yes.
Yes,
exciting
health
times.
And wellness. All right. Well, thank you so much, my sister, for calling this morning. We've got another sister on, Sister Maika, and then we're going to go to break and come back with our guest, Sister Maika, on 3304. And I believe Sister Maika comes on Thursday.
Thursday. You are at your break time. Why
yes, ma'am.
After you make your break, your commercial break.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes. Why don't you let me speak after your commercial break?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, my sister. Yes,
okay.
We're going to go to a commercial break. Thank you so much. You're listening to The Female Solution on Blog Talk Radio. We will be right back with Sister Maika and my very special guest today. I am not going to mess her name up. I'm just going to let her say it because I don't want to mess it up. Just stay close. We'll be right back. And thanks for listening.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection.
Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable listings.
Are you looking for a heating contractor? Are you tired of paying those high service charges? Or are you purchasing property and in need of a mechanical overview? If you answer yes to any of these questions, we have the solution for you. Call us at Miller's Heating and Cooling. We provide sales, service, repair, and installation of heating and air conditioning systems for residential and commercial customers. We provide affordable prices to fit your budget. If you mention this ad, you can receive a free estimate and free mechanical overview. So what are you waiting for? Call us at 773-444-8432. Again, that's 773-444-8432. And ask for Marie. We'll do anything to get you hot or cold.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Hi, this is Beata, your holistic life coach, and I'll be joining the Female Solution family every Friday morning to assist you in your journey to abundant health. Together, we can reduce the stress, which most health professionals agree is a major contributor to disease. Every Friday, I'll be sharing the knowledge I've gained from over 20 years in the holistic health field. The word holistic simply means taking into consideration mind, body, and spirit to balance and heal your human self. I am truly excited to be able to serve you on The Female Solution.
Us back here on The Female Solution, Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks, your Monday morning mindfulness. And we'll continue the conversation with our Thursday host.
Yes. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning on Monday Morning Mindfulness.
Yes, this is Maika. So glad to have this opportunity to share. You know, I've always loved weddings. I remember a time when, you know, we'd be on the block and wedding bells would come ringing by our houses, you know, hanging from cars. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't hear that anymore. Now you see a lot of funerals.
Yes, you do. Nothing but.
Nothing but funerals. So it's so good to have a royal wedding. And it reminds me of one of the figures that is listed on the 365 calendar. That's the 365 days of celebrated and hidden figures African ancestral calendar. It's Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Schwerin. She was born in 1744 on May 19th. And she was a British consort and wife of King George III. She served as Queen of Great Britain and Queen of Ireland from her wedding in 1761 until the union of the two kingdoms in 1801, after which she was Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland until her death in 1818. She was also the electress of Hanover in the Holy Roman Church until the promotion of her husband to King of Hanover on the 12th of October, 1814, after which she was also Queen Consort of Hanover. And she was of melanated ancestry. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Sister Maika. We greatly appreciate that. Because I'm quite sure.
Yes, that's so important. You know, I've been studying the life of Buddha since I've been on retreat, recovering from severe exhaustion at a most lovely place, in a home where I had no requirements except to breathe, no obligations, and just to enjoy whatever I could. And it's been so healing. And you know, one of the things that is so important in what Buddha teaches is that each person must discover their own path. You have to have the experience, and no one can give that to you. You have to start by knowing yourself, and instead of thinking you can control and slay others and get to your goal, we have to slay the demons that possess us, the fears, the anger, the hate, the jealousy. You know, these are the things we have to go to battle against within ourselves.
Amen. It's not the man.
And when we battle these things, then we become conquerors of ourselves. And when they say, he who conquers the world and does not conquer himself is no conqueror at all. You know? So we're kind of like off kilter. It's just like getting a tune up, you know, my sister. You know, just like a guitar gets out of tune and all the different instruments gets out of tune. We get out of tune. And we've been in a society that is out of tune. You know, and one of the greatest ways to identify it is when you see the Caucasian people on a dance floor, how they jerk and they cannot get the rhythm of the music.
I'm sorry, I didn't just laugh.
But it's the society that we was conditioned to be in. We are witness to people that really, it's like us getting on the floor doing what they doing and calling that dancing, you know?
I would have loved to have been on the dance floor at that wedding. Thank you so much for calling, Maika. Thank you so much for calling. We've got to move on to...
okay, so let me just let the people invite my... I'll be on Thursday morning. And we can continue this conversation. Thank you so much, Zelda.
Thank you so much for calling, Mike. Thank you, and thank you, our listening audience. We're going to get to your calls momentarily, but right now I want to bring on a very special lady that I met at the Westside Ministers Coalition monthly networking meeting that I host every month, the first Thursday of every month, and I meet all kind of fascinating people. And this lady gave me a card. And it said, get your degree debt-free, money for tuition, fees, and books, and a weekly paycheck at UPS, and a $300 to $600 monthly bonus. I was like, where were you at when I was in school? I needed you then, but, you know, the kids need it now. So I would like to thank you for the opportunity for bringing that information and sharing it. And I do not want to mess up your name, so Naima, if you would be so kind to open her mic and let her say her name. She is the UPS representative, I should say, from the CRCP. I'm going to try the name. I'm going to say Servalor Miss Bostic is the Associate Executive Director of the Chicagoland Regional College Program. Did I get that name even close, Miss Bostic?
Good morning, Zelda. Good morning, Zelda. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, because our children and our parents especially need to know that they do not have to take out a loan to get money to send their kids to school. It's the biggest rip-off gimmick going. How do I know I put myself through 4 years of college? No, I don't have a master's degree, a PhD, but I got a bachelor's degree, and I didn't take out any loans. So thank you for showing the world that it's possible. How does this happen? How does this work?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And it's Sevillard. That was close.
Sevillard.
Sevillard,
okay.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sevillard.
Yes. First of all, I want to say that as we're talking, I want not only the young people to think about it, but mature-aged adults to think about this opportunity. The 30-year-old, the 50-year-old, yes, even the 60-year-old to think, I can go to college, I can go back and finish, I can get a late start, I can still do this. So we want people to think in terms of a population beyond the typical 20, 22-year-old. How does it work? Well, first of all, we're a 15-year program, coming up on 15 years. And I'll tell you, I hear all the time, where was this when I was in school? Where was this when I was in school? Fortunately, you were able to get yours without taking out the student loan debt. And so we're helping students do that today. They work part-time at the UPS facility in Hodgkins overnight, and they attend school part-time in the afternoons. Typically, we do have full-time students, but typically our students attend school part-time because we believe that a part-time job and part-time school is a full-time commitment.
I agree.
Yes.
And
so
Go ahead.
Typically our students are working 4 to 5 hours a night. They are working overnight, and those shifts are 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 9 a.m.
And those are part-time hours, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I remember going to college, and I worked 2 or 3 part-time jobs to go to school full-time. So, and the fact that those hours, this opportunity is available to adults over 22 because I didn't go back to college until I was 36.
Wonderful. Well, I would think you'd need to have that level of maturity to do 2 or 3 jobs. But I meet people that are struggling to keep it together, working 2 part-time jobs, taking care of families, going to school. I don't know how a person manages all of that, but certainly it has an impact on their ability to have peace. I listened to your meditation this morning, limit stress, and excel in school.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that is all possible, and I need you to share with our listening audience how they, too, can become involved and get not only a job but educational expenses. Because books, I cannot believe the cost of books. They're like $50 for one book.
Unless you're in a medical program, and they could be $200, or a science program, they could be $200 a book. So, yes, it's amazing the cost of an education today. But we're saying you don't have to go the traditional way. So here's how it works. Our students start work at UPS. They are new employees. This is only eligible to new employees here at the Hodgkins, Illinois facility. They work part-time and take classes part-time. We help them with the enrollment process. They can currently be students, or they could be young people or adults considering going back to school. And so what they do is they apply to UPS, or they apply to our program first. And I'd like to give those websites right away if I can. Ours at CRCP is www.crcprogram.com, crcprogram.com. And then the UPS website is upsjobs.com, but you must choose Hodgkins, and you must choose one of the 2 overnight shifts to be eligible for our program. So, So our students, we're admitting students for the summer now, and certainly we'll be admitting students for the fall, so we encourage people to check us out. So to work at UPS as a part-time package handler, you have to be able to lift up to 70 pounds. Let's talk about that, the job. You'll be loading or unloading packages onto a trailer here at the Hodgkins facility. So it's physical labor. Okay?
Yes. And that does
You're going
stop
to get
some
paid.
people.
And it certainly will. It's certainly not for everyone, but that is the entry-level job. And UPS is a company that promotes from within. So most of the folks I talk to in management, upper management, started off as package handlers. They want you to know this business.
Where's the Hodgkins facility?
79th and Willow Springs Road.
And
7900 Willow Springs Road.
At is that west? Way west?
It is south. If you take 294,
Okay.
and exit on the 75th Street exit, you'll see UPS. You'll see UPS. Or 55 off of County Line Road.
Okay.
About a mile off of 55 and County Line Road.
Oh,
so it is
thank
southwest.
you very much for calling in and sharing that information with our listening audience today, because I'm sure someone will be able to benefit from that. And I got the name right, Sevilla.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much for calling, and thank you for appreciating the Monday morning mindfulness. Thank you once again, and hopefully someone will take advantage of that. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, and hopefully I'll see you at the next event. We've got one more caller here. We've got about 10 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. We've got one more caller. Rashida on 7791, and then we will take Brother Kufi on 5756. Thank you for joining us on Monday Morning Mindfulness on the Female Solution.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Grand rising to you, Rashida.
Yes, grand rising also.
Your comment or your comment?
Yeah, I have a statement to make. I'm thinking that it's wonderful that people are getting married, and especially of our ethnicity, because we don't have too many men around that's marrying us. So I think it's very good, although I don't see any royalty in anyone's blood. I know people have achievements and accomplishments and successes, but I think all blood is royal. But it's a great thing to see at this day and time that people of ethnicities are marrying our kind, because we're not getting married too much to our own kind. In fact, there's not too many African American men around to marry. So I think it's something to celebrate, a wedding like that, and I am encouraged to marry now, because there was this guy from Tunisia who wanted to marry me, and I had some reservation because he was a white African. But now I'm motivated.
White African? Did you say a white African? Okay.
Yeah, white African.
They call them Afrikaans. They call them Afrikaans.
Okay, well, Afrikaans. So it's motivating. It's encouraging to me, so I might move forward and get married to a Tunisian. I don't find too many African American men that are qualified or capable of marrying me anyway. So that's a good thing. I didn't see the wedding, but I heard about it, and it helps, I think, to motivate our young people to know that there's other people to marry instead of not marrying at all.
Well, that's each individual choice. Marriage is not for everyone. And then the world teaches us that we need to be married, which is so the furthest thing from the truth. You are where you are supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and it is not always in a union with someone else. If we spent more time developing ourselves, the type of people that we think we need to be with, they will automatically be drawn to us. But that's just my opinion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, thank you so much.
What? Another thing, sister, it's going to be interesting when they have a baby. You know how beautiful that baby is going to be. Because a lot of us don't marry, we just have babies, you know.
Yeah, baby, it's gonna be a special one when the baby show up. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, when
because
they get married, they usually have babies.
When the royal family see these little brown babies running around the castle, there is going to be some conversation, and I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that conversation. So thank you for bringing that subject up. And and there's only one race, and that is the human race. We've been taught through our programming that there's a black race and there's a white race, and those words are just words that were made up. There's a brother, and the nation of Hebrew Israelites talk about the etymology of words, and most of us speak words that we don't even understand because this is just what we've been taught. This is what we accept, but that's a whole nother show. But anyway, I want to thank all of my listeners for joining us this morning. And thank you, Sister Rashida, for joining it and sharing your comments, because there are no comments or suggestions made without those who are listening. And a very special thank you to my bid whiz partner, Brenda, of the Markle roller rink, my Markham skate family, who brought this to my attention, because this is the conversation while we're at the table waiting to play cards in the morning. And everybody was just so enamored with the royal wedding and the mother who was of the bride who was sitting there with her locks on. And I was like, yes, sister was sitting there representing, because we have been taught something that's totally different. Let's take my last call. Kofi is on the line waiting. Kofi, you got about 60 seconds. I hate to cut you short, but we're off in 1 minute. So let's go to Brother Kofi.
I need real quick. That's all. God bless everybody. Look, don't follow this stuff. The 400 years is over with. They are not our rulers, okay? The British, they don't rule us anymore. Now, what you saw, I'm going to be real. I might get killed for this. What you just saw, you saw two men get married. Meghan Markle is a transgender. I'm just saying it. Look it up. So y'all got to stop playing with these people. Get that royalty out your mind, and have these young black girls start looking at that. Tell these young black girls that we were kings, we were the rulers of this nation, that they stole, and they took our land. What I'm doing right now, I'm going back to my reservation. Next time y'all hear me, I'll be at my reservations, growing food for my people. You understand? I'm not worried about these British. They stole everything that we have, and they putting us in that illusion again, and we falling for it. Oh, you are a prince. We are the kings and the queens who have risen. You hear it in our voice. They're not speaking like us. They stole from us. Everything we got is in their basement. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy all that, but man, that's another world. We're building our world again. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Brother Kofi, for sharing that information, because I respect your comment, your thought, your suggestions, because you have taught me more than I have ever wanted to know indirectly, because when I first started this show on the Female Solution, my impression of you was that you are just a very angry individual because of your, lack of a better word, personal baby mama drama. I'll put it like that. And after listening to your story one day where you opened up, I said, no, he's not. It's not anger. It's passion. And the fact that you have passion talking about the issues that you speak on is representative of that in this conversation today. And it is an illusion, and we're going to talk about that illusion and kings and queens that we are. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about the N word and how that word came about and what it really means. So you be sure and join us next Monday morning mindfulness. We will be discussing the N word. I have a brother who is off the chain, and we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, if you want to contact me during the week, please go to ZeldaSpeaks.com or and email me there, or you can call me at 312-409-6619 and be sure and leave me your information. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, stay tuned to our next Monday morning mindfulness every Monday morning from 7 until 9 a.m. And be sure and set those DVRs for Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 to see the Higher Learning Network TV show. Tuesdays at 6, repeats at 1, and you can always see it on the website learningnetwork.org. Stay on purpose, stay empowered.
Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakkur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessing.